Hey everybody, happy Wednesday. Super excited to be here today. I am so sorry I'm late. We had a power outage because there's some construction going on and my internet was down. So I couldn't do a live and I wanted to share my screen, so I didn't want to do it on the phone. So I apologize for coming up a little bit late, but today I wanted to show you guys a sneak peek of the certification. And before I do that, I want to dive into the why of why I'm doing this, right? So I think the biggest thing for me is when I was trying to get certified or learning all the certification options. Obviously, I'm very much like an analytical, logic-driven person. So if I don't know, what I'm getting into, it definitely gives me anxiety. And I'm like that not just with certification, I'm like that in general in my life. And so anytime we make a travel decision or we make a summer camp decision, I just kind of have to see a big picture, and I need to see, what it is that we're getting into, what it is that my kids are getting into, what it is that I'm getting into, and then I make decisions kind of based on that specifically. So that being said, I know that especially during like the sleep certification launch, people were asking like, what does it look like and what is the interface and all that. So I wanted to go ahead and actually share my screen. I'm going to try to load up Kartra again one more time. Hopefully it lets me do it this time. But I wanted to share my screen and essentially walk you all through what it is that we're doing, with the certification and what it is that you're going to have access to, and then I'm also going to share my screen and talk to you about all the cool things that you get access to in addition to my certification, right? Like, what are some things that were important to me that I feel like should be important to you if you're thinking about getting certified? So yes, Kartra did actually let me log in. So let me go ahead and show that to you guys. Um, Let me try to share my screen. Okay, so this is the certification. I'm going to actually go in and go ahead and log in with you guys really quickly, just so you can see. So, um, hopefully you can see this tab. This is all things certification. So as you can see, we have an introduction module, then we have a welcome and overview, which I look at, intro to resources, biology of sleep, cultural diversity, and quiz. Then the second module is about self-soothing, about stages and sleep cycles, senses of sleep, sleep personality, self-care for parents, and then we have another quiz. And then here we have everything you need to know about clients, right? So family mindset and culture, identifying strengths and weaknesses, sleep training ages and methods, creating sleep plans, a Zoom session example, pediatrician's consult, right? And this is actually a video of a pediatrician, Dr. Katie Gibson, and she talks to you about what SIDS is and how you can basically, educate your parents. Then you also have postpartum depression, postpartum anxiety for parents, and then I have a module on running your business. So, it's the mindset of running a business. How do you get started? You have the online marketing. How do you get into marketing without feeling overwhelmed, right? Because I think that's the biggest thing is a lot of people start getting on multiple different social media platforms and then they get overwhelmed. So how do you kind of condense that? Then I'm going to talk to you about selling. That's another icky point. How do you sell your services confidently? We're going to talk about social media tool and resources that we use. Also, how do you price your services? How do you price your packages? Is it hourly? Is it by a package? And then intake calls. How do you actually have an intake call? For each of these, I'm going to look at like module one, for example. Every single module has, slides. So again, I'm going to download this and I'm going to show you this really quickly. So it has, what are the course expectations, the mindset. So this is stuff that you can actually go through, right? And so this is really, really important. If you are looking to get certified, literally this course is all inclusive. I'm going to talk about the science, the culture, the mindset, the business aspect, right? And why should you listen for me? Well, I built seven-figure businesses from the ground up as a mom of two, and I really want to empower women who want to start their businesses and help other families. That is to me like a huge thing, right? I really want to affect our communities for the better. And I feel like as one person, I can't potentially reach out to so many people and work with everybody at once. So the certification is my way of really expanding and taking into account the research that I've done, the studies that I've done, how I've failed, how I've made mistakes, and translate it into you. So like you can take what I've learned by the certification. But you know how they say in the commercial, that's not all. The other cool thing about the certification that you get, which is really exciting, and that's something that goes a long way for me, is you actually get a couple of things from me. So you get one-on-one coaching from me. You get website done. Your basic website will be completed for you. You get Voxer support until you land your first client. That's essentially my guarantee that I'll work with you until you land your first client. You get a Notion CRM, which is kind of a tracker to track, how you're doing your outreach to potential clients. You get an entire marketing plan and content strategy planning tool, so that I'm really making this super simple for you. You get access to my app, which is a marketplace to find people who are looking for sleep consultants. So all these bonuses are, over $15,000. And the bottom line is, as you are doing your certification, I and my team are going to work on the back end and get your website up, your social media running, your branding, all those things that you need to start a business, right? Because that's the biggest thing is a lot of people get the certification. They're like, okay, now what do we do? Where do we go? Well, as you're doing the certification, my team is actually going to build your entire business and the infrastructure for it on the back end. So once you're done with the certification, you're certified and you can hit the ground running. You don't have to spend another 6 months. So you can actually get the value of all of this. It's at 7,997, but you can literally make the money back within 2.5 months of making that investment, because you are going to be able to hit the ground running instead of like, okay, now what? Now I have to build a website. That's going to take 6 more weeks. Oh, now I have to build an intake form. That's going to take another whatever. You are getting your entire business backend ready to go. So you can literally hit the ground running. So that being said, I hope this sneak peek was helpful. If you have any more questions for me, any comments, you know where to find me. You can slide into my DMs and I'm happy to answer them for you. Thank you so much for watching me today, and I will see you next week. Bye for now.